Have you ever stopped to think about why some people seem to lose respect for you over time, even without an apparent reason? Often, actions that seem harmless have the power to erode your credibility and push people away. We're not just talking about small social slips, but behaviors that deeply impact your reputation and the quality of your relationships. And for the queer community, where we are constantly challenged and need to strengthen our identity and the bonds we create, these behaviors can be even more harmful. The truth is, we all have our moments. No one is perfect. But the habits we're going to explore here are especially destructive because they directly affect how we interact with others. These behaviors can turn a promising friendship into distance or even harm opportunities in the professional environment, which are already scarce and difficult for those on the margins of society. Like many of us in the queer community, I want to make this reflection even more real and relevant for you by sharing some personal stories. I've made many mistakes throughout life and learned valuable lessons about how certain habits affect how we relate to others. Habit 1. Gossiping. Let's be realistic. Gossiping is common. Almost everyone has participated in a conversation where someone else's life was the center of attention. Sometimes it seems harmless, even fun, creating a sense of connection with those around you. However, gossiping is something that destroys trust and harms your credibility. I remember a situation in college where gossip was rampant among friends. At first, it seemed harmless. But when I shared a secret about a classmate, everything got out of control. She, who was a more private person, was devastated when she found out her personal life was being discussed without her consent. The friendship was never the same after that. The Stoics, like Epictetus, teach us to focus on our own growth and not meddle in others' lives. When you gossip, you not only waste time, but you also compromise your integrity. People start to question, if you talk about others, what will you say about me? To maintain others' respect, eliminate this habit and invest in conversations that add value. As the saying goes, those who talk badly about others talk badly about you too. Habit 2. Being unreliable. Trust is one of the most important pillars of any relationship. If people can't rely on you, they will quickly lose respect for your word. There was a time when I was known for being unstable. I would make plans and cancel them at the last minute, forget commitments, and make excuses. This seemed harmless until a friend of mine, Sarah, showed me the impact of this. She planned her birthday party with great care, and I promised I would be there. However, on the day of the party, I got distracted with another activity and didn't let her know until the event was already happening. When I called, I could hear the disappointment in her voice. After that, our friendship was never the same. Reliability is a valuable asset, especially in a world where everyone has so much to do. If you want to be respected, keep your promises. Be honest about what you can or can't do, and if you need to change a commitment, let others know in advance. In the professional world, a lack of reliability can ruin your career. Being punctual, meeting deadlines, and keeping commitments are simple but essential actions to show that you are a trustworthy person. Habit 3. Interrupting others. It's easy to think we're contributing to the conversation, especially when we're eager to share our ideas or show that we're paying attention. However, interrupting can be seen as disrespectful, as it signals that we value our own voice more than others. I remember a situation early in my career when I would constantly interrupt my coworkers in meetings. For me, it was just a sign of enthusiasm. Until one day my manager called me and said, "Do you realize that you're not really listening, just waiting for your turn to speak?" Those words had a deep impact on me. Stoicism teaches the importance of self-control and patience. Learning to listen attentively is a powerful skill that not only strengthens interpersonal relationships, but also makes us more emotionally intelligent. When we silence ourselves and truly listen, we can better understand others and build deeper connections. Habit 4. Complaining. Excessively. Complaining might seem like a harmless venting, but when it becomes a habit, it can push people away and trap us in a cycle of negativity. I was a chronic complainer in the past. If the traffic was bad, I complained. If it rained, I complained. If something at work didn't go as expected, there I was lamenting. Over time, people started distancing themselves. A close friend once said something that made me reflect. "Man, have you noticed how you're always complaining? It seems like nothing is ever good enough for you." Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control. For the queer community, often confronted with social and emotional challenges, it is essential to remember that complaining about what we cannot change is futile. What we can do is adapt our approach and act on what's within our reach. When facing situations of discrimination, misunderstanding, or prejudice, the way we choose to react can transform our experience. For example, if we are misunderstood or silenced, we can focus on our reactions and how we assert ourselves firmly, without resorting to aggression or pessimism. Constant negativity only drains our energy and that of those around us. Learning to seek solutions and turning problems into opportunities for growth is a powerful practice for all of us. Instead of getting lost in complaints, we can redefine our difficulties, embracing them as lessons for our personal and collective evolution. When I changed my mindset and started seeking solutions, instead of focusing on what was outside my control, my life took a turn. I became lighter company, a more open person, and I noticed that the connections with those around me changed. Not only did I start seeing myself differently, but others began to view me more positively and authentically. These habits, although they may seem simple, have a profound impact on how we are perceived by others. For the queer community, where respect and acceptance often have to be earned, this transformation is even more vital. If you want to cultivate respect in your relationships, whether romantic, friendly, or professional, start by practicing honesty, self-control, and the search for solutions. Don't get lost in the vices of negativity, anger, or distrust. Stoicism teaches us that by controlling what is within our reach, we can achieve a calmer, more respected life without relying on external validation. Remember, respecting yourself is the first step to being respected by others. And by focusing on our own evolution and truth, we create a more inclusive and healthy space for everyone around us, regardless of gender identity or sexual orientation. Habit 5. Giving people a cold face when our emotions invade the space of others. One of the most harmful habits many people, including members of the queer community, can develop is bringing the weight of our internal struggles into social or professional environments. Often, we have personal problems, emotional challenges, or identity difficulties that affect us deeply. And without realizing it, these feelings are transmitted through our posture, facial expressions, and attitudes. A cold face or a distant posture can create an invisible barrier between you and others, pushing people away instead of bringing them closer. His type of behavior not only impacts our personal relationships, but it can also harm our professional environment, where collaboration and good coexistence are key. Stoicism, with its emphasis on self-control and serenity in the face of challenges, teaches us that it's crucial to learn to separate personal difficulties from external interactions. The philosopher Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic thinkers, said, "It is not things that disturb us but our opinions about things." In other words, it's not the problem itself that affects us but the way we react to it. This means that, although we might be going through a tough time, the way we choose to handle it in our interactions with others is what truly makes a difference. For the queer community, which already faces numerous social pressures and emotional challenges related to identity, it is even more important to practice this type of self-control. It's not uncommon for our own frustrations, insecurities, or fears to be projected onto others, creating an uncomfortable atmosphere. By bringing these emotions into external interactions, we not only harm our own emotional health, but also affect the well-being of those around us. However, practicing Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in recognizing these internal feelings and learning to leave them where they belong, with ourselves. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions or ignoring them, but rather learning to manage them in a way that doesn't harm others. As Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, stated, "It is easier to control our reactions than to control others." We can be kind to others, even in moments of internal turmoil, and by doing so, we not only cultivate respect, but also strengthen our emotional resilience. How does this apply in daily life? When you feel anger or discouragement rising, before, reacting with a stern look or a sharp attitude. Take a deep breath and try to separate what's going on inside of you from what's happening around you. Recognize the emotion, but don't let it control your actions. This doesn't mean hiding what you feel, but choosing to express it in a constructive way without letting it dominate your social interactions. This practice can be challenging, especially in a world where emotions often clash with our external realities. However, by internalizing Stoic teachings, we begin to realize that our peace and the way we interact with others are a choice. By doing this, we create a more balanced environment, not only for ourselves but also for those around us. Remember, serenity is a skill that, when cultivated, allows us to create space for deeper and more genuine connections, without our own emotional challenges becoming an obstacle. By focusing on what we can control, our response to adversity, we become stronger, more respected, and more authentic. If you like this content and want to learn more about how Stoicism can transform your emotional life and relationships, especially within the queer community, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos, and share this with someone who could benefit from these ideas. See you in the next video.